All right, let's go.
Searching for appropriate mission.
What the hell was that? That was close. Damn. Who was that?
Pirate ship Patsak. Captain Chuka Einsukan is wanted by the Farum authorities of planet Amon. The price on his head is 2,000 credits.
Activate defense shields. Manual controls.
Accomplished.
I'm not interested in your loot. I want the bounty. I'm coming to get you, Einsuken. Not bad. I'll have to sweat over it a bit.
Danger. Asteroid field detected.
I've got a surprise for you, Einsuken. Prepare the gripper. Engage autopilot.
The contract is complete. The Farums are transferring the money.
Great. Let's listen to our favorite song.
Welcome everyone to my new Let's Play series, Space Rangers 2 Reboot. Well, hello everyone, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so the next game that I'm going to LP, try my hands at, is going to be none other than Space Rangers 2 Reboot. It's an enhanced version of the original game, Space Rangers 2 Rise of the Dominators, released initially in, I think, Russia in 2004. And us English-speaking folks, had to wait a few years before everything was translated, and had to wait a while because the extensive writing in this game is surprisingly voluminous. Yeah, this game was, I think, released on Steam. That's where I got it in 2010 December, and I played it to great delight. It definitely took me by surprise, and now is one of my top 10 games. Although I haven't really played a lot of games, but yeah, this definitely left a really great and positive impression on what is possible in the gaming medium. Particularly because this game is, I can explain it as jack of all trades. It is basically everything. It's almost associated with a space exploration type game, or game inspired by science fiction. It has trade, has exploration. Only thing it doesn't have is, I guess, building bases and stuff like that. But you can still be involved in the part of the building space stations and whatnot. So yeah, this game has a lot of different options where you can definitely influence and affect the rest of the universe. As you can see, yeah, this is a ship, maybe our introduction human ranger with the kind of indeterminate accent. I'm probably it's a German accent, but a kind of poorly done German accent. But it definitely lends a flair of charm and absurdity to the entire game that extends to even descriptions of its races and how the gameplay sometimes presents itself. I guess they're now fixing his ship, so I guess he survived in the end. Wow, okay. Yeah, the introduction movie did definitely cover everything. I was surprised how meticulous it was and how deeply representative of what this game is all about. You can go for the bounties, you can just relax in the space. I don't know whether there's any new metal included in the cockpit. I mean, if he didn't have the speaker system that takes up half of his cockpit, he would have known that there was a paneling with a bomb attached to it coming his way as he was gripping every last bit of fragment on the aftermath of the explosion of the pirate ship. And it also has an element where you are basically battling in a one-on-one dogfight. That is probably primarily what you're going to be involved as a space ranger. Aside from that, it's pretty special in the fact that it also has planetary battles, which is a quasi RTS. So this is kind of cross between a simplified RTS game and I guess not a MOBA per se because it's not multiplayer, but it's kind of similar gameplay, something that you find on mobile devices like tablets, where you turn out robots and like a tower defense, you configure different defensive systems based on the strategic points, and then you try to capture them and protect them, and in the end, eliminate all enemies. Yeah, this is really surprising, and this is one of the reasons I initially had a rather doubt about whether this will translate well to Let's Play because it's a text quest. But I found a plethora of text quest Let's Plays, and people do like them, and some people do and follow them. And I'm not really a good narrator, but I can try maybe lend my voice and expand my vocal range or something. It's a good opportunity as any to do that. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here. It's going to be pretty involved. I mean, some text quest I think takes more than an hour if I have to rack my brains over it on the options that I have to choose. Basically, choose your adventure type of game. But still, if you get into it, it can get pretty engrossing, and maybe I'm gonna try a couple and see how people like it or how I like it if I want to keep doing it. Or the lucky thing is that these 2 missions are purely optional. Of course, there are a lot of rewards and promotion tied to it, experience points tied to it. So I mean, if you are eager to explore all that the game has to offer, the game definitely rewards you for your investment of time and effort. Another sign of a very good game. And speaking of science, this is a game that is rather easy to learn, although there's some learning curve from the start. So I'm going to explain as I go along and encounter some stuff that kind of even mystifies me. It's a pretty deep game. But then, of course, this is kind of hard to master. There are definite tips and tricks that are just written pages after pages on how to basically construct the best ship or how to best start your career in the cold, hard, and hostile space. But I'm going to just try to go along and represent this game in a kind of honest manner, not try to rely on cheats or exploits. Most of the exploits I think are ironed out in the reboot version, since that is part and parcel of what the I guess upgraded version kind of brings, kind of rebalanced, tweaks, and more weapons and stuff to do and stuff like that. I guess not the least of which is the ability to access right away from the main menu these optional quests and missions. This game was developed by Elemental Games, as you see by this cute fire-breathing, I think, dinosaur. The property is owned by 1C, a rather well-known Russian game development company or publishing company. Qatari also was involved. I think they were famous for King's Bounty games later on. They definitely struck gold there, but I think they were part of the making of this reboot version. And now SNK is also involved. This is not SNK of Japan, the King of Fighters fame, but has a pretty another cute fish mascot that are, I think they were more involved not only in Reboot, but I think they were sole party developer for the HD version that came later. And the HD version kind of supersedes this game, so it replaced Reboot. So you cannot find Reboot on the Steam sales page anymore. It was replaced by HD A War Apart. The latest revision and probably the final revision or update to Space Rangers 2. And basically it's an expansion. I think it adds a lot of different stuff, even elements from the first game, Space Rangers 1, that I really do not know about. Yeah, so that is definitely an upgrade. And if you're interested, or if you are if you're gaming, I guess your gaming interest has been piqued by Space Rangers as I play this Let's Play. By all means, it's available on Steam. The HD version, I guess, it comes with better graphics, HD graphics, of course, and I think they include expanded pirate career that you can definitely see and experience. That is, I guess, rather different from the characters or professions that are offered in this game, or career paths that are offered in this game. Yeah, and what else can I mention? Oh, okay, yeah, there are other candidates that I wanted to try for the new LP, of course. There were, you know, the games that I had as candidates ran the gamut from Jagged Alliance 2, Crusader Kings 2, Alpha Centauri, the game I wanted to try before changing my mind to Panzer General 2 in the last Let's Play series. But I checked, and then there are a lot of LPs available for these games on YouTube. At least on YouTube, Space Rangers 2, I have seen a couple of Let's Plays done, but they were not completed. They stopped midway. So maybe I try my hands on it. The special thing about this game is, of course, this is a rather long game, I think, and this is basically based on how you play this game. So it's a sandbox. But it does have a definite ending, but it's a sandbox. Most of the times you can just do whatever you like, and if you do not plan and you do not have the plan or course of action that you set for yourselves from the beginning, then it can take a long time before the game ends, or before the universe changes in such a way that it becomes untenable. Yeah, there's so many different variables, incidents, there's definitely different chances, opportunities to be had in this game, so nobody can predict what's going to happen. It's really chaotic. So that's why it doesn't really make for a great LP experience if you're not really skilled in trying to craft your own story within this universe. But I try to be that, depending on the profession of my ranger or the career path I want to take, I try to stay on one course and not deviate too much from your missions and the overarching goal of trying to fight your main adversary. Alright, okay, so, the game stopped. Oh, I think it's going to go into, yeah, the RTS battle demo mode. So this is the RTS preview. The camera doesn't pan this way. Maybe nigh unplayable if it basically jitters like this, but yeah, this is basically the HD, well, not really HD, but the RTS game demo, the preview of things to come. So you turn out robots like continuously, and basically with limited resources you have to be very careful how to use them to fight the adversary. And different points here, strategic points that you have to capture, and then the points themselves are defended by turrets. I can actually, wow, I can actually click on them and then see. Alright, so can I go into a mode here? No, I don't think I can actually go into manual mode, but you can actually assume direct control of these robots, and then although this is automatic mode, I think you definitely see the battles that are going on, and it can get pretty frenetic. And then the sound is really, really loud for some reason. It's not really modulated, or yeah, it has the sound levels of all on its own. Yeah, so I think, yeah, the red green and blue are the colors of the main adversaries. There's 3 types of factions on the main adversary side, and the yellow is you, basically. Yeah, in different configuration of Overwatch are possible, and I think you're not doing too well, but at least, hey, yeah. Okay, so we have allies that are red. I'm not so sure. Yeah, I mean this is just demo, so yeah, just a sneak peek on how the RTS game is going to be like, and it's pretty exciting if you just concentrate on the main action, of course, not explosions and stuff like that. But I heard the key to success in that mode is to assume direct control, and I guess use the normal strafing method of a third-person action game in order to gain advantage over the deficient AI. I think the AI is pretty decent, kind of merciless in certain aspects, but they do their own thing. They're, you know, the AI in this game is constructed to bring that living universe feel to the proceedings. So what else can I mention? Well, nothing much. I mean, I think I covered everything that I can remember. But as I go along, if I encounter some things that I need to explain, then yeah, I certainly do that. This game definitely has a learning curve, and for you guys who is new to this game, then it might take some time even watching this LP to familiarize yourself with certain concepts. And of course I need to review or recount some of the stuff that are instrumental in being successful. And if I encounter them, if I learn some things that I have forgotten or something that I didn't know about all this time, then I definitely tell you guys about it. But for now, let's go into new game. I have already done a couple of test runs, and they were, well, I mean, I get the hang of it now. So hopefully this time around, it's going to be a bit more smooth sailing than the first couple of times I tried it. Alright, so you have your race and character of the pilot that you're going to control for the rest of this. I'm going to control for the rest of this Let's Play series, so it's going to be one of the most important part that is going to be said and done in the very first episode. Depending on the difficulty in the race and of course the character, going to determine the prospect. Not really, cast you in a certain locked fate, but it's going to influence your career path in such a way to make me kind of locked into a certain profession or a certain way of playing. So it's a really important phase of the game. Anyways, yeah, the race. Let's go over the race first. Marlocks, okay, so if you look at these guys, yeah, I mean, if you want a fantasy analog or accurate type, this guy is pretty funny. This seems like a bowl cut or something, or just skull cap, but yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, these guys are the trolls and the orcs of the Space Rangers 2 universe, Marlocks. They are pretty rugged, they're pretty strong physically, but of course in space, it doesn't really matter how large you are in person. But then you do have a disposition that is kind of intimidating. The equipment is kind of worn down and not the most advanced ones, but they're cheap. They get also worn down pretty fast, so that is kind of drawback that Marlocks cannot really overcome. But they do have that ruggedness. They do, I guess, have a lot of hit points to their ships and stuff like that. Paylings are kind of sneaky, kind of step in the back, kind of roguish kind of race. Best described as yeah, sneaky and kind of slimy. I don't know, but then they're most found in the pirate profession, and also on their planet, I think you are able to deal with illegal goods and stuff like that. So yeah, they're kind of on the verge of skirting the law. I guess that's their disposition, but they can be used to be kind of a really hit and run type of reconnaissance support, I don't know, character or purpose. Yeah, I don't really like the pairings because, I don't know, I haven't really used them, and then all the experience I have got with this race was a negative one because I was playing humans a couple of games. So yeah, they're distrustful of some, I mean, it depends on the character, but yeah, they're more or less kind of on the outskirts, outliers of the normal relations of the coalition. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'm giving a bit of a too much of a short shrift or underestimating their worth or their usefulness. I guess some people really do like this race for the inherent characteristics that the bonuses that it confers. But I have to read up on them. Alright, humans are de facto neutral, average, as they're wanted to be in many science fiction inspired media. They basically have the average weaponry, not as advanced but more advanced than the Malaks and Palings, I guess, and has good relations with almost all of the races, other alien races, and try to work toward consensus. Probably they're kind of neutral and average in almost everything. Freyans are, or is it Feyans or Freyans? Is it R or A? I think it's R, so it's Freyan. Okay, so Freyans are the more of a stereotypical gray race with large eyes and kind of a large eyes and head. They do have a different look to them though. I mean, they have a little bit of variation. Yeah, this guy looks a bit more of a gray character that we associate with in a lot of other science fiction. They're more advanced than humans. They're not as advanced as Gallians, which we go to later. They do have a bit of snobbish attitude toward the lower races, I hear. Their weapons are pretty decent, they're advanced. They're kind of frail though, I think, in terms of the ship design. So they have to be pretty careful and have a lot of defensive bonuses in terms of shields. Gallians are well, if you have played Mass Effect, they're like a Protheans. They're the ancient race that have seen and done all. They modify their bodies, so their original form is not known. Yeah, they're most advanced. And they're I guess the keepers of the order, the leading race in this universe in terms of knowing what's up, and in terms of understanding the, I guess, underlying workings of the universe. They're most scientific, the best weaponry, but very expensive. So I guess in StarCraft, they're like Protoss. Alright, so character, fighter. Okay, so light, fast, and well-defended ship, as they say. It's kind of more of a ranger based ship, ranger-inspired ship, so you can regulate and try to defeat the dominators or defeat any kind of a illicit activity, any party that is complicit in any crime or has a lot of bounty on them. Mercenary is, well, I mean, the price is right, and the mercenary will definitely be put into service. They don't really hold any particular allegiance. They just goes where the highest I guess calling of the galaxy credit is present. Yeah, okay. So merchant, yeah, of course, this is a profession that requires a large ship. And Gallians have a lot of excellent ships here. All of their equipment is excellent, I think. Yeah, excellent equipment, and everything's excellent. Sold by the Malaks for unsanctioned luxury item trading. So yeah, I guess the Malaks are not really happy with the merchants. Yeah, but their ships are large. They have a large hull to carry a lot of stuff. I guess they're well defended. They're well defended at the expense of weaponry. Corsairs, I'm not exactly sure what Corsair is about. But yeah, I guess they're more of a... From the description here, with the grapper and droid, I guess they're more of a scrappers. They sort of wait on the side of a fight or just battle and then swoop in and try to gain the most amount of loot from the destruction. Try to take advantage of the chaos and the violence that happens every day in the universe or in galaxy. So they are not really well regarded by every race, I guess. Yeah, bad relations with all races. Yeah, they're kind of thieves. Pirate on the other side of the, I guess, yeah, you can say that even from here, from good to bad. Pirate is really bad. They don't even wait for the battle to end. They just basically actively engage in attacking vulnerable targets. Yeah, and we're eluding them, just like in the introduction movie where the Paling, this guy, was trying to do on that poor transport ship, large transport ship. the rocket launcher and everything. Yeah, small cargo of drugs. So yeah, I mean, has of course a small amount of drugs on them in order to fuel their recklessness. Anyways, yeah. So we've gone over all the classes. Alright, so difficulty is, I guess, probably the most important aspect of this Let's Play series. This is going to determine how or what the prospect of the pilot that we are going to choose is going to be in terms of his career, in terms of his effectiveness, how quickly they can start out at being a ranger. Yeah, he runs the gamut from dominators to luck. Yeah, all the different options that you can basically ignore all that and just choose easy, normal, hard, and impossible. I've seen certain accounts on the internet of how hard the impossible level is, but yeah, it's going to be pretty bad if I actually try to go into impossible, and certain very horrific accounts of what happens in the impossible difficulty. But we'll go back to this later. Alright, so start bonuses. So yeah, this game offers you bonus. How nice of them. The skills and equipment. In terms of skills, we have accuracy skill, which is basically how accurate you can fire your gun. And yeah, offensive rating. Maneuverability is, I think, defensive rating. Of course, in defense, you can also rely on your hull to absorb some of the shots, but it's best to just maneuver around them. This wrench icon represents the equipment skill. I think from this icon itself, I can surmise that this is going to determine how fast your ship is going to wear out, and how maybe how quickly or cheaply you can fix the said damages. Trade, yeah, trade is trade. How much money you can make from selling and buying. Charisma is how everyone's disposition is geared toward you. If you have high charisma, even if you get involved in certain illicit activities, I mean, you know, you have a lot of charisma and people tend to believe your word more than the other party. Leadership is, I think it comes in handy when you have your wingman. I think in this game you can recruit your wingman to follow you around and involved in your activities, be it bad or good. Depends on their character. So yeah, it's all there. I mean, it's pretty fun. I mean, I haven't really tried to recruit and form a, you know, sort of a battalion of rangers with me being the leader, but I haven't really tried it. But it could be pretty awesome to see. So I definitely try to, you know, bring a wingman, find a partner in crime or heroics. Alright, so equipment, fuel tank, yeah, where fuel goes. If you have a lot of fuel, you can hyper jump or make a jump to farthest reaches of the galaxy, as limited by the how much fuel you have in your tank. Engine is how fast you can just fly around within the main screen. I think definitely helps when you have to track down or even escape from your adversary. Radar is yeah, radar basically helps you to identify different objects in the space. And scanner, I guess it gives you a bit more detailed information of what it is, what the object is, like health points and stuff like that, or what that particular ship is made out of in terms of equipment and weaponry, so you can escape before he takes out that big laser and trains it on you. Droid is a small ship that helps you to, per turn of course, this is a game that is based on turn. Per turn, picks your damage ship up or gives you, confers some kind of bonus, whether it be offensive or defensive, mostly defensive I think. Gripper allows you to grip something or grip any object in the space and bring it to your hull, given that you have enough space to actually store them. Protection, shield, and generator. So this is the shield generator that helps you to buff your defense a bit before your main ship gets vulnerable and gets damaged. Industrial Razor is a small-time weapon that is mostly used for carving out asteroid for minerals. Fragment weapon is kind of railgun, I guess, accelerates objects or fragments toward, I guess, supersonic speed with no drag on in the, I guess, vacuum space. Yeah, it's able to hurl itself very quickly toward the adversary. So yeah, it's kind of mean, I guess, what is called ballistic weapon. Leska, I'm not so sure what it does. It's a laser weapon, but more of a point defense system where you can maybe defend 360 degrees around your ship whenever the enemy approaches from any direction. I think the Leska is able to aim at it without your ship having to turn to face your adversary. So Leska is more of a defensive. I think you can also use it for offense. I think it's not limited in any way, but at least if enemy knows that you have Leska, it has second thoughts about closing in. Rocket launcher, of course, launches rockets. Yeah, very powerful, but it's going to take some time between the reloading. Treton, I think this is the weapon that slows down your enemies. So if you're tracking down or even escaping from the enemies, you can slow them down to gain the advantage of closing the distance or widening the gap. Very important in certain situations, so it's good to have, I guess, a Treton, but for merchant, Treton is not going to be useful at all, so I had to choose what equipment I'm going to bring with me as bonus. Yeah, so I've covered everything, so yeah, we have to choose this, but I'm going to do this in a rather, well, not really special, but random way. I don't know why I'm doing this, it could probably backfire pretty badly, but I'm going to choose all the race, character, and difficulty level randomly. I have the bucket ready, I have the pieces of paper with numbers printed on it. So I have to, just mix it up and choose one by one. Wish me luck. I mean, this is going to prove to be very faithful. If I do not get the right roll or right shake, going to turn out pretty bad for me, so... Alright, for the race. Let's choose a race first. Alright, I do feel that this is the race I'm gonna choose. Number 3. Humans. My goodness, alright, your garden variety vanilla humans. So I'm going to choose a portrait later. Alright, how about the character of this human that I'm going to control or bring into Space Rangers? Alright. Okay. Alright, chosen number. Number 5. I am going to be a pirate. Oh dearie me. Fast ship, quality weaponry equipment, no money. Strained relations, so nobody really hates me but they dislike me. Okay, so nobody's going to attack me from the very start on site. Alright, so I guess that's a bit of a comfort, if any, however small. The difficulty level, this is where I'm going to wreck my brains, no not brains, but I'm going to be most concerned about. I'm going to just sweat over every detail here because Dominator's first up is going to be very, very important in terms of determining the overall difficulty, because Dominators not kid around, they dominate every inch of space they appear into. Alright, okay. Alright, so I chose number 2. Oh, normal, thank goodness. Okay, so I'm not going to be killed by Dominators in the first turn. Alright, good. Alright, price range determines the how large the price range of the equipment or the equipment that you can buy, so you can gain some pretty good bargains because the range is going to be large. Or if it's minimal, then there'll be no bargains to be had, so you have to pay up through your nose for that Leska or for that haul that you always wanted to have. Okay. Alright, chose number 4. Oh my goodness, price range is minimal. Alright, so... Okay, so the difficulty level has jumped to 112%. Okie dokie. Alright, so next up, I have to take out number 5 because 5 is not needed anymore. Alright, scientist. So genius scientist is going to provide for quicker advancement of weaponry, I guess, and the way to infiltrate the Dominators and find ways to resolve the situation on their part. So very important. Stupid scientist, we do not need in the universe. Oh my goodness, dumb scientist. This is not good. Oh my goodness, dumb scientist. Alright, equipment failure. So a lot of equipment failures is going to entail very bad result in any fight because your equipment can just fail all of a sudden and you have to fix it up, I guess, more frequently. Okay, so... Oh, number 2. Alright, so average equipment failures. Alright. Equipment itself... Okay, so let's go to equipment. Equipment itself is the quality of the equipment, I guess. So if equipment is horrendous, I don't know why I emphasize the bad rolls here. But if it's horrendous, then you really have to get by and scrape by with no quality weapons. You have to basically scrape by and try to avoid any fight because it'll be so hard to come by any decent weapons to go up against the Dominators. Alright, number 1. Equipment is best, so it kind of evens out between the dumb scientist that's not going to give us advanced weaponry, minimal price range that everybody is going to try to rip the Rangers off at every opportunity, despite the fact that the survival of the universe hinges upon the Rangers. Alright, anyways, quest. This is another important quest. Is where you're going to earn the most money if you're not actively trading. And I think it does definitely depend on the numbers that the quests are going to present, such as the limited number of days you can fulfill your quest and the number of enemies they're going to face. Number 4. Oh my goodness. Impossible quest. This is not going to be good for us. Alright, black holes. Black holes are special places where the arcade game comes in, where you can directly control and, you know, involve yourself in a second coming of, what is it called, Galaxian? Kind of similar arcade game that happens in black holes, and it rewards you with certain artifacts. I may have to go into black hole hunting if quests are impossible to gain any impossible, so they kind of blocks me from getting any equipment rewards. Alright, so 3, few black holes. 137% difficulty. Okay, holy crap. Alright, the luck has to be the best luck I ever had. Either for drawing these numbers and what the pilot, my human pirate pilot sorely needs. Alright, okay, so... Alright, what did I choose? Number 3, so bad luck. Okay. Alright, so we have 143% difficulty. Oh my goodness, this is pretty bad, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to try it. First of all, I'm going to try it, but yeah, it's not going to be pretty good. I don't know. 143%. This is going to be the let's play to end all let's plays if it basically becomes something that I cannot handle. Alright, skills. Alright, so let's choose. I heard charisma is also pretty important. I think it'll be important for me because I'm a pirate and I don't want to get attacked by everyone. And of course the accuracy is very important. So yeah, charisma and accuracy. So yeah, what is a pirate to do without charisma? He's going to have a mutiny on his hands. Equipment, okay, I think instead of fuel tank and the engine, I guess I choose droid and some other weapon. Or the shield. Yeah, shield and droid. Let's do that. Maybe these guys will provide me with initial boost because it'll be so hard to come by the good droid or the generator. I could even go for scanner, but I don't think it's that useful in the early goings. Alright, so let's choose a portrait of this guy, the pirate, who looks like the piratey of them all. This guy looks piratey. This guy looks kind of piratey. Kind of a beard and everything with goggles. In place of his I don't know. This guy looks kind of drunk and looks like sort of a, I don't know, not a henchman of a pirate instead of the pirate itself. Yeah, look at his nose. He's kind of in red too. Very drunk. Whoa, looks sinister. Does it change from... No, it doesn't change from character to character. Wow, this guy is from the start, the introduction movie. Pretty cool. So they rendered all the faces and have opted to use this guy as the CG intro. Pretty nice. This guy is intense. Look at him, not even blinking. Oh, now he blinks. Wow, yeah, this guy could be pirate too. Okay, Space Jesus. Wow, looks like, yeah, I've seen some hard times and... Okay. Nope. Yeah, this guy looks pretty cool too. Wow, looks sinister. Hey, we have women. Female pilot, of course, well represented here. Yeah, only for humans, I bet. Because I haven't really seen a lot of I can't really determine what the female version of Malox or Panlings would be like, especially the Panlings. Maybe they have 2 horns instead of 1. Yeah, I guess I choose either this guy or... Yeah, I choose this guy. This guy looks pretty ferocious. Yeah. Kind of squished together because the resolution does lend itself a bit more of a alien flair to his aura. Alright, so what should I name this pirate? Okay, so there's PT, like Pete. There's Blackbeard. This guy is Intense Stare. Okay, so about the Unblinker. Okay, well, not really good choice. Doesn't seem sinister enough. Okay, I just say he is Malok. Yeah, that sounds a bit sinister and full of malice. He has to have a certain edge to him if he wants to scrape by and survive in this hostile world of Space Rangers with 143% difficulties. But we'll see what happens and see whether I can eke out existence in this environment. Alright, let's go into Space Rangers 2, the game proper. Oh my goodness, the wall of text. Yep, you can definitely see that developer took a lot of time. It took them a lot of time to translate all this from Russian to English. The gist of this, I guess you could pause this game to read up if the screen itself is crisp enough or sharp enough. But the gist of it is, in the first game, Space Rangers or Space Ranger, there was a Clisson War between the coalition of intelligent races and the Clissons, a threat that they didn't really know about and happened suddenly. So they had a big war, and then Rangers, individual protectors of the galaxy, came in and swooped in to save the coalition from the certain ruin at the hands of the Clissons. So the Rangers were very important, and their role has been expanded and lauded. From the centuries of peace that have been won, I guess people still remember Rangers fondly, and then tradition continued until Dominators began. Dominators is kind of special or unique in the fact that it kind of is based upon the cyber life that inundates the universe as it is in this game. But they have suddenly appeared and began ransacking the deep space and on the space surfaces of the coalition planet, and they of course had to have a big fight called the Gragar battle, in which the coalition lost severely. They had a significant defeat, so they were left to pick up the pieces and also call upon the Rangers to step up once more and save the galaxy from the certain death or destruction by the Dominators. So yeah, that is what is going on right now. Year 3300. Ranger dismissed. So we have become a Ranger, but our character is Pirate. On behalf of the Interstellar Coalition and the Dreamer Ranger Center in particular, I'd like to thank you for enrolling in the Ranger Force. Yeah, patriotism. I guess he doesn't know my character of a pirate. He doesn't recognize my intense gaze because he doesn't blink himself that much. Anyways, yeah, so this is basically retelling of the introduction. You could read an entire section of what he has to say. Or you can save this for perusal later on by clicking this button, which places a little bubble here that basically brings us to this wall of text that you can access just by mousing over this notification panel, which is very convenient. Yeah, it's a really good system. You can basically eliminate it by right-clicking it. All right, so yeah, still Ricky Ranger. And there's a tutorial mission that helps you to familiarize yourself with the systems. Maybe I should go on and do it. Yeah, but for now, I guess I stop. This is a good point to stop. We have gone through the selection process and it was kind of rigorous. I'm trying to describe it as best as possible. And then the difficulty doesn't really bode well for me. Maybe I don't know if you have an experience with this game, and me being a bit of a novice, having to return to this game after years of inactivity or not playing it. If any of you guys play this game and think that I not be able to make it, or have tips to give me a bit of a leg up or insider info, then by all means please comment on the comment section, and I'll be very grateful. And yeah, I'm going to have my work cut out for me in this LP, because yeah, 143% is it's going to be very arduous. Yeah, because this game really pulls no punches, and I think 143% means that it's 43% harder than normal. Almost half more difficulty added onto the normal gameplay. So yeah, anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed my selection and my little bit of a gimmick of trying to choose randomly what the ranger is going to be, what this game is going to be like. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, and then next time I guess I go into tutorial missions and explain a few more things as I go into space and beyond, and I hope I can see you next time. So until then, please stay tuned.
Great. Let's listen to our favorite song.